The case you're about to see is a fictional one, but the procedure is authentic. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public. Robert Michael Bowles is charged with misconduct of an officer of justice, in that between the hours of 1 and 2 in the morning of the 29th of April 1982, he was present and a witness to a criminal offence, namely an assault on Mr. Ghulam Ahmed by 3 others, and that he deliberately failed to carry out his duty as a police constable by willfully omitting to take proper and sufficient steps to preserve the Queen's peace or to protect the person of Mr. Ahmed.
May it please Your Honour, I appear in this case for the prosecution. My learned friend Mr. Parry represents the defendant. Members of the jury, you have heard the charge against Constable Bowles. It is now my task to explain to you what the prosecution will seek to prove in support of that charge. At 1:16, on the morning of the 29th of April this year, Mr. Ghulam Ahmed was most viciously and brutally assaulted by 3 young men in Stratford Street in Fulchester. His injuries were so severe that he was detained in hospital for a period of 4 months, and in fact he is even now undergoing treatment as an outpatient. His assailants, however, escaped, and they are still free men. The prosecution feel that the evidence which you are about to hear will prove that the defendant had no reasonable excuse for taking that course of action, and that he did so as a deliberate and willful neglect of his duty. So, I shall now call that evidence before you. Call Mahinder Patel. Is your name Mahinder Patel, and do you live at 53 Stratford Street, Fulchester?
Yes, it is. Yes, I do.
I have here, Your Honour, a plan of the area of Stratford Street and Carson Road. You will see that Mr. Patel's house is clearly marked on the plan, as are other vital positions to which I, and I presume also my learned friend, will be referring throughout the proceedings. I should, of course, like each member of the jury to see this plan and keep a copy by them for reference throughout the proceeding.
Yes, I have a copy of that here. Mr. Parry, you are in agreement with Mr. Sands as to the accuracy of this plan?
Yes, I am, thank you, Your Honour.
Very well, and this will become exhibit number 1.
What is your profession, Mr. Patel?
I am a librarian at Fulchester Central Library.
And for how long have you been in that employment?
16 years.
Now, I want to take you back to April the 29th of this year. Where were you between the hours of 1 and 2 in the morning on that date?
I was in my bedroom.
And that is on the 2nd floor at the front of the house overlooking Stratford Street.
Yes, that is right.
Could you tell the court exactly what you heard and saw in Stratford Street on that night?
Yes. To start with, I heard a noise of, well, there was a lot of swearing and threats being made. And then I heard a cry for help, something like that. So I went to my window, which was open, and I saw Mr. Ghulam Ahmed trying to escape from 3 white men, skinheads. But they had surrounded him, and then they began to attack him. There had been other attacks of this type in our area at that time.
What do you mean when you say of this type, Mr. Patel?
Well, sir, I mean white youths, usually in 2s and 3s, attacking a single Asian man or woman.
Yes, I see.
Racialist attacks.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Mr. Sands.
Now, after seeing the start of this assault on Mr. Ahmed, what did you see then?
Constable Bowles. I saw Constable Bowles appear at the corner of Stratford Street and Carson Road.
And from which direction did he appear?
Carson Road.
When Constable Bowles appeared, what was happening to Mr. Ahmed?
One of the assailants had just got hold of him from behind, another was kicking him in the crutch, and another was kicking him in the legs.
So Mr. Ahmed was upright at this point?
Held upright. They had only just got hold of him when I saw Constable Bowles. He arrived at the very start of the assault.
Yeah. And what did you see the defendant do on his appearance in Stratford Street?
He stood at the corner, he saw the assault, and then he looked up at the windows of the houses in our street, and he was quickly scanning them.
Now, when the defendant looked along the row of houses, was there a light on in your bedroom at that time?
No, I was in the dark.
Do you think he could have seen you?
He didn't see me.
Then, what did you see him do?
He turned his back on Mr. Ghulam Ahmed and scuttled off like a crab back into Carson Road.
Scuttled off like a crab? Do you mean he went off sideways?
No, sir. I mean quickly.
Ah, I see.
Yes, so he retreated from the assault to a position where he could neither see the assault nor indeed be seen by the assailants.
Yes, of course.
Now, just to go back to before he scuttled off like a crab, Mr. Patel, for how long was he in Stratford Street?
5 seconds.
Exactly 5 seconds.
I cannot say absolutely and for sure because I did not time him, but I am very particular about time, and I have a very meticulous memory for such matters.
Now, from your bedroom window, can you see the length of Carson Road?
Yes, my house looks down on Carson Road. It is at the junction.
And now, when he turned back into Carson Road, what did you see him do then?
He disappeared into the entrance of Wilson's shoe shop.
Ah, so in fact, he made a second retreat, this being into the recessed entrance to the shop.
Yes, that was when he disappeared from my view. I can only see the first 4 or 5 feet into the entrance of the shop, but he had gone in further than that, right into the shadows.
You will see from the plan, Exhibit 1, Your Honour, that the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop, common to most shops of this type, is 12 feet deep and 8 feet wide.
I could not believe my eyes. He just turned away and went...
Mr. Patel, please refrain from making any comment until either I or Mr. Sands question you on your evidence. Yes, Mr. Sands, your witness is keen to get on with it.
Yes, thank you, Your Honour. So, Mr. Patel, you saw Constable Bowles step at least 4 feet into the entrance to the shop, and it was then that he disappeared from your view.
Yes.
So then, what did you do?
Well, first of all, I had not expected to see a policeman appear at the scene so quickly. And then secondly, I certainly had not expected him to disappear so quickly. I was most bemused by this behavior. Why was he running away when it was his duty to help? I was about to go down into the street to help Mr. Ghulam Ahmed myself, but then I heard a voice from a house near me, a man's voice, Mr. Lloyd it was, and he shouted, "We are coming after you, bastards." And then I heard other voices of my neighbors shouting at the assailants, so I thought, well, he is getting help now. And I then decided I had better keep an eye on this policeman, because I thought if he was hiding instead of helping, then it must be witnessed and reported.
Yes, how long was it from the time that you saw Constable Bowles first appear to the time that you heard your neighbours shouting at the assailants?
15 seconds.
15 seconds, exactly.
I would not be more than 2 or 3 seconds in error.
How many voices did you hear?
Well, first of all, there was Mr. Lloyd. Then immediately after that, another voice, then 2, then 3. It was about 6 altogether.
And how long was it from the time that the defendant disappeared into the entrance to the shoe shop to the time that you decided to keep your eye on him?
10 seconds, no less than that.
What did you mean when you said keep an eye on this policeman, when in fact you could not see him?
I timed him on my stopwatch.
Ah, I see. Yes, Mr.
It's a mechanism I have on my wristwatch. I just press a button.
Yes, I understand. Indeed, I have one myself.
Yes. And you timed him on your stopwatch until when?
Until he came out of Wilson's entrance.
And how many seconds did that amount to?
21 seconds.
I see. So by your calculations, the defendant was in the recessed entrance for not less than 31 seconds.
Yes.
Are you aware, Mr. Patel, that there will be evidence before this court to say that the defendant made an emergency radio call from the shop entrance?
Yes.
And has this in any way changed your view that the defendant was omitting to perform his duty whilst in the entrance to the shop?
No.
Why is that?
Because to make the radio call would not have taken more than 6 seconds.
What did you see the defendant do from the moment of his reappearance?
He slipped out of the shop entrance like a thieving cat, and he went to the corner of...
Mr. Patel, this is a court of law, not a literary luncheon. The purpose of your evidence is to assist members of the jury in an understanding of the facts, not to befuddle them with similes about cats and crabs.
I mean, he came out of the shop quickly looking one way, then the other, like when a man does not want to be seen coming out of somewhere, like a sex shop or a porno
Neither
movie.
are we interested in your observations on how men come out of sex shops. He quickly looked one way, then the other. And then what did he do?
He ran to the corner of Stratford Street, and then on to where Mr. Ghulam Ahmed was now lying.
Thank you.
In a pool of blood, in the gutter of the road.
Yes. Mr. Patel, what had happened to the assailants?
Oh, they had been chased off. First of all by Mr. Lloyd, and then there were lots of people in the street, about 12 people in the street.
Yes, how much noise was there in the street when the assailants were being chased off?
There was lots of shouting, people running.
Yes. Yes. In which direction did the assailants run off?
Down Carter's Alley.
And that is at the other end of Stratford Street. So the assailants ran off in the opposite direction to where the defendant had concealed himself.
Yes.
Right, the defendant is now at the scene of the assault. What did you do then?
I went down into the street.
And once there, did you speak to the defendant?
Yes. I said to him, "Why didn't you help him earlier?"
And what was his reply?
He didn't reply, because then I said, "I saw you hiding in Wilson's entrance." And he said, "If you have a complaint, you know where to send it." And I said, "Damn right I've got a complaint. Because of you, that man might die."
Did you know Mr. Ahmed before the assault took place?
Yes.
He was a friend of yours, was he?
Yes.
Yes. And it's your opinion that there was a racist motive behind the assault, is it not?
Of course there was. For what other reason do 3 skinheads beat up a nation?
Yes. 3 skinheads, to use your own word, punching, thumping, kicking, beating Mr. Ahmed to near death. It must have been a terrible experience for him. Would you agree?
Yes, of course it was. You don't need to ask me that.
And indeed, it must have been a terrible experience for those who saw it happen,
Yes.
particularly for those who are friends of his. A terrible experience.
A terrible experience for everyone who saw it.
And throughout this terrible experience, you sat at your window observing a policeman. You saw him arrive, you saw him observe the assault, you saw him go into the entrance of the shoe shop, and then you set your watch onto its stopwatch mechanism, and you sat there, you say, for 21 seconds, whilst a friend of yours was being pummeled by thugs and left to lie in a pool of blood in the gutter of the road. Is this really what you did, Mr. Patel?
I have already said to the other gentleman that I was about to go into the street to help Mr. Ghulam Ahmed, but I heard voices of my neighbors saying, "We are coming to help you." And I knew that they would do that because I know the people of my community.
Yes, I'm not disputing that, Mr. Patel. In fact, you're very much an active member of your community, are you not?
Yes.
You're a member of a collective of unpaid enthusiasts who run a community broadsheet called the Fulchester Klaxon.
Yes, I am.
And in that broadsheet, since January the 9th, 1981, you've written 5 articles, all of which criticize the conduct of police officers towards Asians.
Yes.
Yes. Articles in which you've accused police officers of harassing Asians in the street, abusing Asians in custody, manipulating identity parades against Asians, ignoring complaints made by Asians, and so it goes on. It's a bit of a crusade, isn't it? This regular and persistent campaign against the police. Indeed, something of an obsession of yours, isn't it?
Oh, really, Your Honour, 5 articles written on the same theme hardly constitute an obsession.
Yes, Mr. Perry, that really is too much. Because a man happens to make the exercise of the law his regular concern, this does not mean to say that he's a man obsessed. Surely we're all agreed on that.
Yes, I think we are, Your Honour. I withdraw the imputation to the witness.
Very well.
I have also written on other subjects, including the art of Asian cooking and the art of leg spinning.
Leg
Yes.
spinning?
Yes, I teach the art of leg spinning in local schools and clubs.
Do you? Very good.
Mr. Patel, in the April the 9th issue of Klaxon this year, just 20 days before Mr. Ahmed was assaulted, you wrote, and I quote, "The Scarman report is wrong. Many policemen are racist, and these vile men must be expelled from office. If the police authority will not get rid of them, it is up to us, all of us, to seek them out and do it ourselves." What do you mean by seek them out and do it ourselves?
The police force is like any other profession. There are racists amongst them, and they will not be dismissed by their own colleagues. So it is up to us, members of the public, using our democratic and legal rights to campaign against those whom we have seen to have behaved with racist motives.
When the defendant turned back into Carson Road after witnessing the assault, what did you think he was doing?
I didn't know.
No, but you told my learned friend I was bemused by this behavior. Why was he running away when it was his duty to help? Running away and going into hiding. He had seen an Asian being assaulted and he didn't want to help. That's what you thought, wasn't it? A racist policeman.
I didn't know. I couldn't understand it.
Yes, but that was why you then decided to keep an eye on the defendant instead of going to help Mr. Ahmed, because you thought that the policeman was running away from his duty. Is that not so?
Yes.
Yes. You thought that he should have tackled the assailants of Mr. Ahmed immediately, didn't you?
Yes. When a man is being beaten to near death, I don't expect a policeman to turn his back on it.
Constable Bowles says that in going into the shop entrance, he was performing his duty because he was taking up a position from which he could radio for assistance prior to going to tackle the assailants. Did it ever occur to you that this is in fact what he could have been doing?
No.
No. You thought he was running away.
And I still think that, because to radio for assistance was not his reason for going in there.
How do you know that?
Because he was checking to see that no one had seen him before he went in.
But that's only your interpretation of his actions, isn't it?
It was perfectly clear to me.
Yes, because you believe that many policemen are racist and that it's your duty to seek out these vile men. So I can understand why your erroneous assumption was clear to you, because you see it as your duty to flush misbehaving policemen out of the police force, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do. If they misbehave, yes.
You went out into the street after the assailants had been chased off, didn't you?
I went into the street when Constable Bowles had reappeared.
And when you arrived, what was Constable Bowles doing?
Talking to my neighbors.
Yes, he was taking statements from them, wasn't he? Collecting information to be used to apprehend the assailants.
Too late by then.
And he was also making sure that Mr. Ahmed was given all possible aid, wasn't he?
What do you mean? There was nothing he could do. Mr. Ghulam Ahmed needed a surgeon, not a policeman by that time.
Well, he attended to the basic and immediate needs, arranging blankets, that sort of thing, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did that. What a great help, arranging blankets.
So, whilst the defendant was taking charge, doing his best for the victim until the ambulance arrived and collecting information to pass on to the police backup when they arrived, whilst he was doing this, you came along and abused.
I did not abuse him.
You said to him, "Why the hell didn't you help him earlier?" And "Damn right, I've got a complaint," didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And did you say this politely or in an accusing manner?
I was angry.
Yes, you were angry. And it's really no wonder, is it, that the defendant had no time for your anger? He was rather too busy, wasn't he, Mr. Patel, to be bothered by a man who was offering no assistance and was, in fact, being a bit of a nuisance?
No. I was angry because I had seen him hide in Carson Road. And now here he was, after allowing Mr. Ghulam Ahmed to be beaten up, pretending to be concerned, pretending that he had not witnessed the crime, pretending that he'd only just arrived. How else would you expect him to behave in front of witnesses? Of course, he did everything he was supposed to do when he was surrounded by people. But when he thought no one was watching him, he turned his back and went into hiding. And I saw him do that.
Mr. Patel, to raise your voice serves no useful purpose at all.
I'm sorry. It makes me very angry.
Yes, well, please restrain your anger.
You have told the court that Mr. Ahmed was being held upright when Constable Bowles first appeared on the scene. Are you sure about that? Because Constable Bowles says that when he arrived, Mr. Ahmed was on the ground.
He was being held upright. I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, I suggest to you that you didn't, and that Constable Bowles appeared on the corner of Stratford Street some 15 seconds later than you're now telling us.
How can he say that? It is just not true.
Mr. Patel, counsel has every right to suggest that to you, just as you have every right to deny it.
You see, Mr. Patel, what you're telling us just doesn't make sense. You're obviously a man who's deeply committed to the well-being of your fellow Asians. And here you are, setting your watch onto its stopwatch mechanism for, you say, 21 seconds while you stare out into an empty Carson Road, whilst a fellow Asian, and indeed a friend of yours, is the victim of a most vicious attack by 3 white youths in the street below. And you do nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I put it to you, Mr. Patel, that what you're telling us isn't true because you wouldn't do such a shockingly callous thing.
I have already told you that Mr. Ghulam Ahmed was receiving help from my neighbors.
And I also put it to you that what you actually did was this. You observed the defendant going into the recess of the shop entrance, but you observed him staying there for a considerably shorter time than you're now telling us.
I am very precise about time.
Came down into the street and told everyone that you'd seen the defendant hiding, and from then on you conducted a campaign in your newspaper, Klaxon, to get the defendant dismissed from the police force, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, another of your campaigns. But when you were told by the police that the defendant had gone into the shop entrance to radio for assistance, you realized then that there was really no case against him, didn't you?
No, that is not true.
Well, I suggest to you that it is. And I suggest to you that you didn't time Constable Bowles at all. You made up this story, didn't you? So that it would appear that he remained in the shop entrance for considerably longer than he needed in order to make his call.
That is ridiculous.
Because this was now your only chance of continuing your campaign against the defendant. And I suggest to you that you have distorted what actually happened to suit your own objectives.
I repeat, that is ridiculous. I timed him, and he was in there for at least 31 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Patel.
Do you wish to re-examine, Mr. Sands? If you could stay a moment, Mr. Patel.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Patel, am I right in saying that you are a member of the Fulchester West Committee for Police and Community Relations?
Yes, I am.
When was this committee set up?
After the summer riots 2 years ago. I had been trying to set up a committee like this before then, but of course no one was interested. It takes a riot for people to listen to us and to respect what we are saying.
Do policemen serve on this committee?
Yes. There are 4 policemen and 1 policewoman.
Do you have a good relationship with them?
Yes, sir. Very good. They are all very excellent people.
Yes. Yes, and what is the purpose of this committee?
Our first and most serious concern is to try to improve the respect and trust between the police and our community. You see, the idea is that once every month, we get together to talk, to exchange ideas, to assist the police, to let them know what our concerns are. And through this, they get to understand us. To prevent the friction that leads to crime, that is what we are trying to do. And we work very hard together as a team on this. And I do not make up campaigns or invent stories against any man.
Oh, one other point, Mr. Patel. Do you ever socialize with policemen?
Yes. Sometimes after cricket practice. I teach their team the art of leg spinning.
The case of the Queen against Robert Michael Bowles will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Yesterday in Crown Court, Police Constable Robert Bowles was charged with deliberately failing to take proper and sufficient steps to prevent an assault on Mr. Ahmed by 3 youths. The first witness for the prosecution, Mr. Patel, told the court that he had seen Constable Bowles witness the start of the assault and then conceal himself in the entrance to a shop, until the youths had been chased away. In cross-examination, counsel for the defense suggested that Mr. Patel made up his allegations in a personal campaign against the police force.
Is your name Alison Jenner? And do you live at number 41 Stratford Street, Fulchester?
Yeah.
This house is also marked on the Plan Exhibit 1, Your Honour, and you will see that the house is almost opposite the place where the assault was committed.
Yes.
Miss Jenner, where were you between the hours of 1 and 2 on the morning of April 29th last year?
In my bedroom.
Which overlooks Stratford Street?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yes. Can you now tell the court what you heard and saw on that night in Stratford Street?
Yeah. I was lying on my bed looking up at the ceiling waiting for Thomas to come out at the toilet and I was just about to
Miss Jenner, I'm having difficulty hearing you. You were lying down on the bed, looking up at the ceiling, and then what?
I was waiting for Thomas to come out at the toilet.
And who is Thomas?
He's me fella. Boyfriend.
Thomas Lloyd, Your Honour.
Yes, I see. Thank you. Now, Miss Jenner, could you speak a little slower when giving your evidence?
Slower?
Yes, you see, we have to be certain that we hear everything you say correctly.
Yeah, sorry.
Carry on, Miss Jenner.
Yeah. I was waiting for Thomas to come out at the toilet. Is that better?
Yes, very good. Please go on.
When I heard this shouting and stuff outside. So I opened the window and I saw these 3 skins.
Skins being skinheads, the assailants?
Yeah. And they were swearing and threatening this Asian fella. So I thought, bloody hell. Ran out at room, banged on toilet door. Bloody well get out of there, there's a fella being done in outside. Then Jimmy comes out at next room in his underpants looking like a dead Chinaman. So I told him to shift himself out on the street. When I goes back to the window, they're really laying into this Mr. What's-his-name, Mr. Ahmed. Then Thomas comes out at the toilet like a bleeding missile. Nearly scared it ducks off wall. Opens window, shouts at Skins, runs off down the stairs. Well, we're 3 stories up, you see. Of course, by this time, everybody's at the windows, shouting and bawling at them to stop it, so I give up vocals and all. And I see Thomas charge out like a bleeding black buffalo, followed by Jim in his underpants not knowing what the hell he were doing. There's all sorts out there by now, in the knickers and nighties. Of course, Skins had scarpered, suffering shock at seeing this lot coming out, I shouldn't wonder. And then, I was just about to phone the fuzz when I saw this copper coming along. And I thought, Christ, he's telepathic. I haven't even phoned him yet. So, I ran into the street with my ointments, and Mr. Patel came along and told us that the copper had been here right from the start, and that he'd sneaked off to hide in a shoe shop till Thomas had chased him off. So I thought, well, that explains it.
This is the most graphic and entertaining description which I'm loath to stop, but somebody has to, because, you see, I have to make a note of what you're telling us. And if I'm not careful, I will have only black buffaloes and flying ducks to remind me of what you've said.
Oh, sorry. Didn't realise you were writing it all down.
Now, I want to be sure about this. Now, after you'd alerted Mr. Lloyd, you went back to the window. What did you see?
What did I see? Oh, yeah. One of the Skins was holding Mr. Ahmed from behind, like. Well, standing him up in front of him, while the others were punching and kicking him.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Jenner.
Thank you.
Did you see Mr. Ahmed fall to the ground?
Yeah.
And when was that?
That was just after Thomas had shouted from the window.
And when did you next move from your position at the window?
After Thomas had chased him off, I went down into the street.
Now, when Mr. Ahmed fell to the ground, did you see any other people at their windows?
Yeah, Mrs. Harris in the flat below. I can recognise her perm a mile off.
Anybody else?
Oh, yeah. After Thomas had shouted, there were heads popping out all over the place. There was Jeff next door. He was hanging out of his window shouting. He's always doing it. And Jean and Bill below him, and Eric on other side. There was one hell of a noise going on.
Yes. And so how long was it from the time that you first heard the assault to the time that Thomas Lloyd shouted from his window?
About 15 seconds. And then it was about another 15 seconds before Thomas was out on the street.
Thank you, Miss Jenner.
Miss Jenner, do you know Mr. Patel?
Yeah.
Have you ever discussed the assault with him?
Yeah. Came round a couple of times to talk to us about it.
Us?
Me and Thomas.
Did Mr. Patel tell you his version of events?
Yeah.
And did you tell him what you had seen?
Yeah.
Did he ask you to help him in his campaign to bring a charge against the defendant?
Yes.
And did you join him in his campaign?
Yeah. I handed round a petition. I got it all filled in, then I lost it, so he gave me another one, and I had to do it all over again.
You had to do it all over again?
Yeah, he's very persuasive.
Very persuasive. Is he? In your discussions with Mr. Patel, is it possible that he's confused your memory as to what you actually saw?
Well, that's a bit of a daft question. I mean, how could he confuse me? It's not as if he blocked me vision or knocked me contacts out.
No, but you see, details, like, for instance, remember the exact moment that Mr. Ahmed fell to the ground, can become confused under the influence of another person's opinions, and particularly a persuasive man like Mr. Patel. Do you understand?
Oh, really, Your Honour, if my learned friend is implying that Mr. Patel has persuaded Miss Jenner to give evidence other than that which she herself has witnessed, that is a most serious accusation.
Your Honour, that was not my implication. I was merely suggesting that Miss Jenner might have been confused in her memory about what she saw after discussing the matter with Mr. Patel. I didn't intend to imply that there was any deliberate influence on her.
No, I'm sorry, Your
Yes,
Honour.
I think Mr. Parry has made himself clear on that point.
I'm obliged, Your Honour.
You wish to re-examine Mr. Sachs?
No, Your Honour.
Very well, then, Miss Jenner, you may leave the witness box.
That's it, is it?
Yes, that is it.
Call Thomas Lloyd.
I was in the bathroom when my girlfriend banged on the door and said, "Come on, get out quick. There's a man being beaten up on the street."
So what did you do then?
Well, I went straight away to my bedroom window, and when I looked out, I saw one skinhead holding Mr. Ahmed from behind, and the two other skinheads were kicking him, you know. Then I opened the window and shouted, "We're coming to get you."
Was there a light on in your bedroom at this time?
Yes, sir. All three lights were on.
Now, what position was Mr. Ahmed in when you shouted at the assailants?
That was when the boy who was holding him threw him into the gutter.
Did you see any other people at their windows at this time?
Yes, sir. Mrs. Harris downstairs. I noticed her because I heard her shout, "They're coming after you," or something like that.
Now, when did she say that?
Immediately after me.
So after you'd shouted from your window, what did you do then?
I grabbed my cricket bat. I keep it by my bed. It's my best bat, you see. Needs proper looking after.
Silence in court. You grabbed your cricket bat, Mr. Lloyd. For what purpose?
To scare off the skinheads. I didn't intend to use it, though. Not my best bat.
Yes, quite so.
And what did you do then?
I ran down the stairs and I went out into the street, shouting at them and swinging my bat round my head.
And what was the result of that?
They were gone.
Yes, no doubt.
Well, I chased them as far as Carter's Alley, but they were too far ahead of me, so I turned back, and that was when I saw Constable Bowles. He was running to where Mr. Ahmed was lying.
Now, did Constable Bowles question you with regard to the assault?
Yes, sir. He said, "Did you see how many of them there were?" And I said, "Yes, 3. Then he said, "Can you describe them to me?" And I said, "Yes, they're all skinheads." Then he said, "All of them?" And I said, "Yes." Then Mr. Patel, he had been listening to this, you see, and he said, "This policeman already knows the answers. He saw the assault for himself but went off to hide. He's only asking those questions to make us all believe he has only just arrived. He is covering up."
Constable Bowles reply to that?
Yes, sir. He told Mr. Patel to shut up and go away.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd.
Mr. Lloyd, did you notice anything in Constable Bowles's behaviour at the scene of the assault that was not in any way the behaviour of a good, efficient policeman?
I don't know what a good, efficient policeman should do.
Oh, come now, Mr. Lloyd. Surely you can tell whether a man is coping with the situation efficiently or not.
I can't think of anything at the moment.
No, because he behaved throughout in a thoroughly efficient and proper manner, didn't he?
I suppose so.
It was, in fact, only after Mr. Patel had come out with accusations against Constable Bowles that you presumed that he was misbehaving, wasn't it? It was only Mr. Patel who made you doubt the behaviour of Constable Bowles, wasn't it?
Yes.
Did you discuss the assault at any time with Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Did he ask you to take part in his campaign to bring charges against the defendant?
Yes.
And did you?
Yes, I signed the petition.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd.
Mr. Lloyd, you're free to leave the witness box.
My next witness is Stephen Gibson. Stephen Gibson, were you a constable at the West Fulchester Police Station from the 18th of May 1981 to the 23rd of July of last year?
Yes, sir.
You were a probationer, weren't you? Meaning that you were on your 2-year training period.
Yes, sir.
But you have now left the police force, haven't you?
Yes, sir, I resigned.
Why was that?
Because I didn't see the job in the same way as my senior officers. I wasn't prepared to compromise my opinions, and they weren't prepared to accept criticism. I didn't particularly want to leave, but then I wasn't unhappy about it.
What is your employment now?
I'm the assistant manager of the West Fulchester Sports and Leisure Centre.
Ah. Now, did you know the defendant when you were a constable?
Yes, sir. We were both street duty officers at the Fulchester West Station.
On the beat?
That's correct, sir.
You friendly with him?
Yes?
Did you discuss your work together at all?
Yes, of course we did, frequently. All policemen do.
Good. Now, Mr. Gibson, can you recall a conversation that you had with the defendant on the 17th of May of last year?
Yes. We were in the locker room. We'd both just come off duty, and we were talking about the assault on Mr. Ahmed. There was a campaign against Constable Bowles going on by then, and I said, "They're kicking it up a bit, aren't they?" And he said, "Yes, the bastards." And I said, "What do you think those skinheads would have done to you if you'd gone in?" Meaning if he'd tried to stop them. And he said, "No way would I have gone in there. They can look after themselves." So I said, "Who can look after themselves?" And he said, "The bloody Asians, of course."
Were you surprised at what he'd admitted to?
Oh, yes, because he was admitting to a very serious offence. And then no, because you hear talk like that in the locker room from time to time.
And when did you decide to report this conversation?
At the start of August. I read an article in the Evening News about the appalling injuries that Mr. Ahmed received as a result of this attack. There was a photograph of his injuries, and it was not a pretty sight. In fact, it disgusted me. And it was then that I decided that justice must be done.
Mr. Gibson, why did you wait 2.5 months before reporting your alleged conversation with Constable Bowles?
I've already said. I read an article about the appalling injuries to Mr. Ahmed.
But surely you knew about those injuries before then.
The article reminded me.
Oh, I see. You needed reminding. And to whom did you report the conversation?
I told Mr. Patel.
Mr. Patel?
He was organising a campaign to bring Constable Bowles to justice.
Yes, we've already heard about Mr. Patel's campaigning. But why didn't you report it to the police?
Because he did.
But why didn't you?
Because he did.
But you should have reported it when you were still in the police force. Why didn't you tell the inspector or superintendent at the time?
You don't report off-duty talk like that.
But you should have done.
Well, yes, I should have done, but as I say, you keep off-duty talk like that to yourselves.
You didn't want to leave the police force, did you?
I didn't mind.
5 minutes ago, Mr. Gibson, you told the court I didn't particularly want to leave.
And then I said I wasn't unhappy about it.
Well, which is the truth? They are contradictory statements, are they not?
Yes, because I was in two minds about it. You see, on the one hand, I was sorry to leave one job, but on the other hand, I was looking forward to another job.
I suggest that you were more than sorry, Mr. Gibson. You resigned under Regulation 16 of the Police Regulations 1971, didn't you?
I don't know Regulation 16.
Well, I shall remind you of it. This is from Baker and Wilkie's Police Promotion Handbook number 3, General Police Duties. By Regulation 16, the Chief Constable may dispense with the services of a probationer if he considers him A, not fitted physically or mentally to perform police duties, or B, not likely to become an efficient or well-conducted constable. And again, and I quote, the probationer can be allowed to resign before the date fixed for discharge. So, although you were given the opportunity to resign, you were, in effect, dismissed, weren't you?
Yes, I was asked to resign because, as I say, my opinions on policing differed from those of my senior officers. And I don't happen to go along with things that I don't think are right.
When did you start your present employment?
End of August.
And when was the job offered to you?
Mid-August.
So this was after you had decided to report your alleged conversation with Constable Bowles?
Correct.
At a point in your life when you've been forced to resign from the police force, when you were unemployed, when you had no future work to look forward to. Not a happy time, was it?
Well, it wasn't bad. I didn't have much time to think about it, being as I was on holiday in Corfu.
Silence in court.
You mean to say that you weren't concerned about being unemployed?
No.
You were joining the despondent ranks of 3 million in this country who are unable to find work, and you weren't concerned?
I never signed on. I came back from holiday on August the 4th, and it took me 10 days, 1 stamp first class, and 1 interview to get me a job.
I suggest that you're not telling the whole truth, Mr. Gibson. It's all very well to be flippant about unemployment when you are in employment, but it's difficult to believe that you took the same view when you were unemployed. You just lost all the securities that a good, solid career affords you. And I suggest that you were a good deal worried about it and indeed resentful about having been forced to resign.
No.
Were you and Constable Bowles friends?
Yes, I've already told your learned friend that.
No, with respect. You said that you were friendly with him.
I don't see the difference.
Did you socialize with the defendant at all when you were off duty, go to the pub for a drink, for instance?
No, I don't recall doing so, no.
But you used to socialize with other policemen stationed at Fulchester West, didn't you?
Yes. But that doesn't mean to say that I wasn't friendly with those that I didn't.
No, it doesn't. What I'm suggesting, Mr. Gibson, is that the relationship between you and the defendant is one of colleague rather than friend. And one can be friendly with a colleague without necessarily being friends. One might wish a colleague happy birthday, but with a friend you'd go out and celebrate it. Do you see the difference?
Yes. But I don't see what difference it makes.
You do realize the seriousness of your allegation, don't you?
I realize the seriousness of the offense.
Perhaps the most serious allegation that can be made against a policeman.
A serious offense, yes.
And it wouldn't be the sort of offense that a policeman could go home and admit to his wife or family or roommates without a great deal of pain and difficulty.
Not to his wife, no.
It would be a terrible admission of failure, wouldn't it? To admit that one had walked away from a brutal assault on a member of the public.
It was, yes.
And if he had told a senior officer, or a senior officer had got to hear about it, he would have been disgraced and dismissed, wouldn't he?
Yes.
And it is a policeman's duty, isn't it, to inform senior officers of offences committed by colleagues?
Yes.
So why on earth would Constable Bowles admit such a terrible failure of character and duty to you, a policeman in his same section who has a duty to report the matter, and a policeman who isn't even a friend?
You better ask him.
But I'm asking you.
As I told your learned friend...
Mr. Gibson, there is really no need to refer to Mr. Sands as a learned friend. It is proper for counsel to refer to each other as such, but not for the witnesses.
My apologies, Your Honour. As I told prosecuting counsel Mr. Sands, one hears comments like that from time to time in the locker room.
Do you really? Do you mean to tell me that a policeman will quite happily go up to anybody who happened to be listening and say, I saw an Asian being beaten up and I walked away? Or words to that effect? Do you really expect us to believe that, Mr. Gibson?
That's what he said.
Well, I suggest to you that he didn't say that at all. Not at all. I suggest that this conversation didn't even take place. That you've made it up at a time when you were out of work, angry at being asked to resign and full of resentment against the police force, and I suggest that you decided to take out your resentment on Constable Bowles.
You can suggest what you like. I'm just repeating what he told me.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson.
You've told the court that you used to socialise with your station colleagues. Do you, in fact, still socialise with them?
Yes, sir, I do, yes.
Are you still friends with them?
Yes, of course I am. I don't waste time on grudges.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. That is the case for the prosecution, Your Honour.
Very well. You are free to leave the witness box, Mr. Gibson. Yes, Mr. Parry.
Members of the jury, I shall not be addressing you at this stage, and so I shall call the defendant, Police Constable Robert Michael Bowles. Constable Bowles, where were you at 1:16 in the morning on April the 29th of last year?
I was on street duty in Carson Road, approaching Stratford Street.
And did you hear anything as you approached Stratford Street?
Yes, sir. I heard what sounded like someone in trouble. So I ran to the corner and at about 40 yards to my right, saw 3 men kicking one other.
And the man being attacked was Mr. Ahmed?
Yes, sir, as I discovered later.
What position was Mr. Ahmed in?
He was on the ground, curled up, protecting his body, and they were kicking him.
You're quite sure about that, are you? He was curled up on the ground.
Yes, sir.
So what did you do then?
I noted my position and then went back into Carson Road so that I could radio for assistance.
And from where in Carson Road did you make that call?
In the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop, sir.
And what did you call on your radio?
I said, PC Bowles, 10-9. My location is the corner of Carson Road and Stratford Street. Ambulance required.
What does 10-9 mean?
It means that you're in distress and need assistance immediately.
And why did you say that you were in distress?
Because I was about to go in and stop the assailants, at least try to stop them, and I felt that I was liable to be in physical danger by doing that.
When did you go back into Stratford Street?
Immediately after I'd made my 10-9 call.
Never.
Silence.
You can't say that. He stayed in there. He let them beat and kick my husband.
If there are any more interruptions from the public gallery, or indeed any other court of this court, I shall ask the ushers to remove the offender, or the offenders. And I will not give another warning on this matter. Yes, Mr. Parry.
Was there any time whilst you were in the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop that you were not carrying out your duty as a police constable?
No, sir.
Mr. Justice, he cannot say
Remove
that.
that woman from the court immediately. I will not tolerate disruptive and impetuous behaviour in my court.
He will never recover. He will never recover. There will always be pain in his back, his legs, his head. He cannot work anymore. If that policeman had not walked away...
Are you the wife of Mr. Ahmed?
Yes, I am, sir.
Then let me say that you, and indeed your husband, have my fullest sympathy, but I cannot allow this sort of behaviour in a court of law. However, if you promise me that you will not in any way disrupt the proceedings of this court again, I shall allow you to stay with your husband.
I cannot listen to this man lying to me. I cannot listen without wanting to protest.
Very well.
I apologise for my behaviour.
Usher, there is no need to manhandle her.
Your Honour, in the light of what has just happened, I would like the opportunity to put my last question to the constable again.
Yes, sir.
Whilst you were in the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop, was there any time when you were not carrying out your duty as a police constable?
No, sir.
The case of the Queen against Robert Michael Bowles will be completed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Police Constable Robert Bowles is charged with deliberately failing to take proper and sufficient steps to prevent an assault on Mr. Ahmed by 3 youths. Mohinder Patel has told the court that he saw Constable Bowles witness the start of the assault and then conceal himself in the entrance to a shop until the assailants had been chased away by Thomas Lloyd over 30 seconds later. However, the defendant has claimed that he was in the entrance to the shop only for as long as it took him to make a radio call for help. Stephen Gibson, a former colleague of Bowles, has stated that the defendant told him that he didn't go to Mr. Ahmed's assistance because Ahmed is an Asian.
So, after you made your radio call, you ran back to Stratford Street, and what happened then?
First of all, I attended to Mr. Ahmed. I organised blankets, made him as comfortable as I could under the circumstances, and then I proceeded to interview the people who'd seen the assailants.
Did you interview Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, sir.
What did you ask him in reference to the assailants?
I asked him, how many did you see, and can you describe them to me?
Why, in fact, did you put these questions to him when, in fact, you'd seen the assailants yourself?
Well, sir, I saw 3, but for all I knew, there could have been more than that, and being nighttime, I couldn't see them clearly. I wanted to be sure of my facts.
Oh, yes, of course. And did you interview Mr. Patel?
Well, I tried to, sir, but he wouldn't cooperate with me.
What do you mean by that, Constable?
Well, he wouldn't answer my questions. He just kept shouting at me, accusing me of being racist and of hiding during the assault, things like that. So I had to ignore him. He was getting in the way.
Getting in the way of what, Constable?
I was trying to do my job, sir.
Yes. Now, I want to take you back to when you first came to Stratford Street and saw the assault. Why did you decide to radio for assistance before going to help Mr. Ahmed?
Well, I wanted to make sure I had some support, that there was a backup on the way. With at least 3 obviously violent men to deal with, I didn't think I had much chance on my own.
What is the correct police procedure in these circumstances?
Well, each officer must act on his own initiative, sir. But we are advised to be cautious in situations like this, and to make a distress call, as I did, is an advised precaution.
Yes. Now, I have one more question to ask you concerning this call, and that is about your decision to make it in the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop. Now, before I ask this question, Your Honour, I'd like to refer you again to the Street Plan Exhibit 1. And you will note from this that the entrance to the shoe shop is just 7 yards from the corner of Stratford Street.
Yes.
Could you tell the court your reason for making this distress call from Wilson's entrance?
Well, sir, I didn't want to be seen or heard by the assailants. And when I stepped back into Carson Road, I saw the entrance, and I thought that this would be a better position.
And was it a better position?
No, sir. If I was in a similar situation again, I would have stayed on the corner of Carson Road. But I thought that I was doing the right thing at that time.
I want to be quite clear about this. What you're telling us, Constable, is that you made a mistake by going into the shoe shop, and it was an honest mistake.
Yes, Your Honour.
But at that time, you thought you were taking the proper steps to preserve the Queen's peace.
Yes, Your Honour.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
How long have you been in the police service?
8 years, sir.
8 years. And do you intend to stay in the police service and work your way up the promotion ladder?
Yes, sir. I hope so, sir.
Have you had any previous complaints made against you during these 8 years?
No, sir.
Mr. Gibson has told the court that on May the 17th of last year you had a conversation with him in which he said, "What do you reckon those skinheads would have done to you if you'd gone in?" And you replied, "No way would I have gone in there. They can look after themselves." Do you recall that conversation?
No, sir. I never said that to him, or to anyone else. I wouldn't make up a story to discredit myself.
No. Have you had any commendations for bravery?
Yes, sir. 3 years ago, I tackled and disarmed a man with a handgun. That was in a warehouse robbery.
Thank you, Constable.
When you first came into Stratford Street and you witnessed this assault, for how long did you remain at the corner before turning back into Carson Road?
About 4 or 5 seconds, sir.
And during those seconds, you noted the number of assailants, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Did you also notice that they were young men, white, and dressed in clothes that would identify them, well, in common parlance, as skinheads?
No, sir. I wasn't certain of that. I just saw 3 men.
Oh, but you told the court the reason you asked Mr. Lloyd, "Can you describe them to me?" was because you wanted to be sure of your facts. So you must have thought that they were skinheads.
Yes, sir, but I wasn't sure.
Did you also notice that their victim was an Asian?
No, sir.
You had no idea that he was an Asian? Didn't even cross your mind?
No, sir. I didn't stop to think who the victim was.
Are you sure, Constable?
Yes, sir. He was curled up on the ground, and it was night time.
Curled up on the ground? Oh, well, according to Mr. Patel, you first appeared when Mr. Ahmed was being held upright by one of the assailants.
No, sir. He was curled up on the ground, protecting his face.
Oh, so you're telling us that you first appeared in Stratford Street after Mr. Patel says he saw you appear?
He must have made a mistake.
Yes. Now, After you'd observed the assailants, again, according to Mr. Patel, you looked up at the windows of the houses quickly, scanning them. Was Mr. Patel mistaken about that as well?
Yes, sir. I looked along the row of houses to note my location.
See where you were?
Yes, sir, to check the name of the street.
You were a street duty officer and you didn't know which street you were in?
To check which street I was in. I mean, I thought I knew, but I wasn't sure.
Oh, so this row of Victorian terraced houses is peculiar to Stratford Street, is it?
No, sir. I was looking for the street nameplate.
Your street nameplates are at the end of streets, Constable.
Yes.
For how long have you been a street duty officer at West Fulchester?
18 months, sir.
Oh, 1.5 years. And you do not know the names of the streets?
Not every side street, no, sir. And I had to be sure.
So, whilst you were trying to find out the name of a street that you had been patrolling for 1.5 years, and looking for the nameplate in the dark, and whilst a man was being kicked to near death just a few yards away, did you notice any lights on in any of the houses?
Yes, sir. I can't remember where or how many.
Oh, so there were several?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you see anyone at their windows?
No, sir.
No one at all, Constable?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear any people shouting from their windows?
No, sir.
And you say that you arrived at the corner of Stratford Street when Mr. Ahmed was on the ground?
Yes, sir.
Yes, well, I asked you that again, Constable, because you see, according to both Mr. Lloyd and Miss Jenner, people started shouting from their windows as soon as Mr. Ahmed was thrown to the ground. And this shouting continued throughout the remainder of the assault. And yet you say you did not hear any of this, even though you appeared in Stratford Street after Mr. Ahmed had been thrown to the ground. Doesn't make sense, does it?
I can assure you, sir, that there was no one shouting at the assailants when I first arrived at the corner of Stratford Street.
But Mr. Patel says he also heard his neighbours shouting from the time Mr. Ahmed was thrown to the ground. So are Mr. Lloyd, Miss Jenner, and Mr. Patel all mistaken?
Not mistaken, sir. I think it's a deliberate collusion to falsify the evidence against me.
Do you have any evidence of such collusion, Constable?
No, I don't, sir.
No, you don't.
But what else could it be?
You have no evidence of collusion. It is merely your opinion. Now, Miss Jenner has told the court that she saw two of her neighbours leaning out of their windows, and this was immediately after she saw Mr. Ahmed fall to the ground.
I didn't see anybody at any window when I arrived.
Well, not even Miss Jenner. She was at her window, leaning out. Her bedroom light was on.
No, not even Miss Jenner.
Well, you've also told the court that when you approached Stratford Street, you heard what sounded like somebody in trouble.
Yes, sir.
Was that Mr. Ahmed crying out for help?
It sounded like it, yes, sir.
Yes. Curled up on the ground. Hiding his face, Calling for help. Calling for help! Would have been somewhat muffled, wouldn't it? And yet you saw that, all right, from Carson Road?
Yes, I did hear it. But it wasn't that muffled.
No, I don't suppose it was, because he wasn't on the ground, was he?
He was on the ground.
Constable, you must have arrived before Mr. Ahmed was thrown to the ground, or you would have seen and heard people at their windows.
But that's only according to the evidence of those who campaigned against me. I say they aren't telling the truth.
Well, I suggest to you that they are, Constable, and that you arrived on the corner of Stratford Street when, in fact, Mr. Patel says that he saw you arrive, and that was at the start of the assault when Mr. Ahmed was being held upright and was crying out for help.
No, sir, not true.
Well, let us move on now to your radio call. Now, I don't intend to question your decision to radio for assistance before going to help Mr. Ahmed, but what I do intend to question very seriously indeed, is your decision to make that call from the entrance to the shop. You see, Constable, there are 2 points about this that give me great concern. The first is this. Is it not a golden rule that if a police officer witnesses an offence, he must never at any time turn away from that offence?
Yes, it is, sir. As I said, sir, I made a mistake.
Rather an elementary mistake to make, isn't it, after 8 years' experience?
Even the most experienced officer can make a wrong decision under that sort of pressure.
Yes, but it isn't simply a question of you forgetting to keep your eye on what was happening, because you see, what you did was run away 21 feet into Carson Road and then step into the shadowy entrance of that shop. Now, was that really a mistake, Constable?
Yes, sir. But I didn't run away. I ran back in order to perform my duty.
Duty, yes. Well, now this brings me to my second point. You told the court that you went into that entrance because I didn't want to be seen or heard by the assailants. But you wouldn't have been seen by the assailants if you'd simply taken one pace back into Carson Road, would you?
No, sir.
No, and since the assault was taking place 40 yards from where you were standing, you wouldn't have been heard either, would you?
No, sir.
No, so there was absolutely no need for you to have retreated into the shop entrance. Well, at least not for the reason that you have given us, was there?
No, sir. As I said, sir, I made a mistake.
Yes. Yes, well, you do keep telling us that, Constable, but I put it to you that to go to such lengths to conceal yourself was no mistake at all. It was a deliberate action, and that deliberate action had nothing whatsoever with you taking up a position to radio for assistance.
No, sir. That is absolutely wrong.
PC Bowles, 10-9. My location is the corner of Carson Road and Stratford Street. Ambulance required. 6 seconds. Now, Mr. Patel has told the court that you were in the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop for 31 seconds. What were you doing for the other 25 seconds?
Mr. Patel must be wrong.
Oh, but he said he timed you for 21 of those seconds on his stopwatch.
Then he's got to be lying.
Yes, well, whether it is Mr. Patel who is lying or whether it is you who are lying, that is for the members of the jury to decide. Did you hear the assailants running away?
No, sir.
Oh, come now, Constable. You didn't hear Mr. Lloyd charging into the street like a black buffalo, shouting and swinging his bat around his head. And in the words of Mr. Patel, there was lots of shouting, people running. You didn't hear any of that?
I heard the noise, but I didn't identify it as the assailants being chased away.
Well, what else could it have been? A conga line running from one house to the other? You must have known, if only by the tone of their voices, that the assailants were being chased off.
No, sir. It was just a background noise because I was making the call on my radio at that time.
So it was a coincidence, was it, that you decided to leave the shoe shop just at the moment when somebody else had dealt with the assailants?
No, sir. I left at that time because that's when I'd finished making the call.
Well, according to Mr. Lloyd, when you were finally at the scene of the assault, Mr. Patel said about your behavior, he's only asking those questions to make us all believe he's just arrived. He's covering up. Was Mr. Patel right?
From the moment Mr. Patel came out into the street, he was aggressive, insulting, and disruptive. I had two important jobs to do, to comfort Mr. Ahmed and to apprehend the assailants, and all he could do to help was to stir up dissent.
Yes, answer my question, please. Were you covering up?
I think I've already answered your question. I had a job to do, and I did it.
I put it to you, Constable, that you had a job to do and that you did not do it. I put it to you that you arrived at the very start of this assault. You noticed that the victim was an Asian. You looked up at the row of houses, and on seeing nobody at the windows, I put it to you that what you thought was this. Nobody's seen me, so I shall run back into the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop, and I shall stay there, in hiding, whilst the assault is taking place. And when I hear the assailants running away, I shall radio for assistance. And then I shall come out and pretend that I've only just arrived. And I put it to you, Constable, that that is exactly what you did.
No, sir. I did not, sir.
And nobody would have suspected you because nobody would have known otherwise. But it was your bad luck, wasn't it? That although you couldn't see Mr. Patel, he could see you.
Mr. Patel has made it all up as part of his campaign.
And did Miss Jenner and Mr. Lloyd also make it all up that Mr. Ahmed fell to the ground when they say he did?
Yes, sir. I believe that to be the case.
And did Mr. Gibson make it all up as well when he spoke in this court of you saying to him, "No way would I have gone in there. They can look after themselves.
Yes,
Bloody Asians."
Yes, sir. That is also a lie. I never said that.
I've only one more question to ask you. You told the court that you were awarded a commendation for bravery and that this was for disarming a man with a gun in a warehouse robbery. Now, were there any other men involved in this robbery?
Yes, sir.
How many?
3 others.
Oh, so there were 4 altogether?
Yes, sir.
Did you chase these 4 men?
The other 3 escaped in a car.
Did you chase them to the car?
Yes, sir.
And 3 of them escaped, but the one with the gun was left behind?
Yes, sir.
Did you make a 10-9 distress call before chasing these 4 men?
No, sir.
Why not?
It was an on-the-spot decision, sir.
Yes. And on that occasion, you decided to chase 4 men who had been stealing property. But on this occasion, you decided to turn your back on 3 youths who were attacking a person. Thank you, Constable.
I don't think we're quite clear on one issue here, Constable, and that issue concerns your decision to go into the shop entrance. Now, in a built-up area, an area with shops and houses, what would be the first place of concealment to look for from which you would make a distress call?
In a city area, it would be either an entrance to a shop or to a house.
So why didn't you use a shop entrance or house doorway in Stratford Street?
Because there aren't any shops or houses on that side of the street. The whole length of it is a factory wall.
And was the entrance to Wilson's the nearest doorway or shop entrance to where you were?
Yes, sir, it was.
Thank you. Oh, there's just one more point, Constable. Did you, in fact, see the street nameplate?
Yes, sir.
But even though it was nighttime?
Yes, sir, it was lit up by a street light.
And where is the street nameplate in Stratford Street?
Between Mr. Patel's house and where the assault took place.
But isn't that in the middle of Stratford Street?
Yes, sir, but it's more or less opposite Carson Road, and street nameplates are often placed in such positions.
Yes, of course they are. Thank you, Constable. Your Honour, that is the case for the defence.
Now, before I examine the evidence in detail, I want you to consider this question. Why, if Constable Bowles arrived at the time that he is claiming, that is, after Mr. Ahmed was thrown to the ground, did he not see or hear anybody at their windows? Because, according to Mr. Lloyd and Miss Jenner, people were at their windows and shouting from the time that Mr. Ahmed was thrown to the ground. But no, he says he saw no one, he heard no one. But, of course, if he had arrived when Mr. Patel tells us that he arrived, that is, at the start of the assault, then indeed he wouldn't have seen or heard anyone. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I return to Mr. Patel and to what he very clearly and precisely saw with his own eyes. Ask yourself this. Why would Mr. Patel be lying? You will remember that he's told us he's serving on a combined police and community committee, the purpose of which is to improve relationships between them. Now, it would be a most improbable and extraordinary contradiction of thought and energy for Mr. Patel to be one day working with the police on such a responsible project, and the next day making up allegations against them which could only hinder and perhaps even destroy that project.
Members of the jury, can you be sure, beyond all reasonable doubt, that Mr. Patel has told you the truth? Mr. Patel, a constant campaigner against the police, who did nothing to help Mr. Ahmed during the assault, and after the assault was more concerned with shouting accusations at Constable Bowles than he was with helping Mr. Ahmed lying seriously injured on the road. Can you be sure that Mr. Patel was telling the truth? Or do you believe that he made it up because he was so angered at what he thought, what he mistakenly presumed Constable Bowles was doing in the shop entrance. And that when he discovered the truth of it, the Constable Bowles was making a distress call on his radio, he realized that in order to continue his campaign, he would have to rearrange his story.
And for the defendant to be held guilty of this offence, it is necessary for you to believe, and to believe beyond all reasonable doubt, that for a substantial part of the time that he was positioned in the entrance to Wilson's shoe shop, he was not carrying out any duty to preserve the Queen's peace or to protect Mr. Ahmed, and that it was his intention not to do so. Now, a substantial part of the time is time that is long enough for him to decide to do nothing, and then, in fact, to do nothing. Now, if you choose to believe the evidence of Mr. Patel, then clearly he must have been doing nothing for a substantial time, and it will therefore be your duty to convict him. However, if you choose to believe the evidence of the defendant, then clearly he cannot be guilty of this offence, because the time that he spent in the entrance to the shoe shop was time taken up solely in the performance of his duty. And whether he should have gone there in the first place is not in question, because if you choose to believe him when he told you that he'd made a mistake, then it was a mistake, not a deliberate and willful omission of duty. Now, if you are uncertain, then you must give the defendant the benefit of the doubt. So will you now please retire, elect a foreman to speak for you, and consider your verdict.
All stand. The prisoner will stand. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Please answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict on which you're all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the defendant, Robert Michael Bowles, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Robert Michael Bowles. This is a particularly grave but fortunately unusual offence for a police officer to commit. I therefore sentence you to 6 months' imprisonment.
All stand.